Yo, Live Life fam, it's your boy Live Life 815, and you already know what time it is. It's time to talk Loki episode 5, and episode 5 was titled Journey into the Mystery. But before we get into it, if y'all haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to get your boy in the algorithm. Cash App is somewhere in the video. Let's talk some Loki, y'all. Now, Loki episode 5 opens exactly where episode 4 left off, with Loki in this wasteland that we now know is called the Void. So just like in the post-credit scene of episode 4, we see Loki look up and he sees 4 other variants of himself, basically. I'm gonna call the one on the far right OG Loki. We see Kid Loki. Bald head Loki over there is called Boastful Loki. And then we get our Gator Loki. And to tell you the truth, Marvel does this so well. We just meet these variants of Loki, and y'all, I feel like I did not miss a beat within their lives. They all have that similar personality because they are, in fact, Loki. Now, at the end of episode 4, we heard OG Loki say that Loki is going to be dead if he does not come with us. We now know why. He stated that the Void is ran by Alioth. Now, when I say ran by Alioth, it's pretty much because he consumes anything that catches his attention. So they're all running. They've all been surviving, basically. That's what Lokis do. Now, back at the TVA, we know that Sylvie decided to spare Ravonna Renslayer, basically because she wants her to tell her everything she knows about the TVA. But Ravonna claims that she's just as in the dark as Sylvie is. She also claims that she wants to find out the truth just as much as Sylvie does. Judge Renslayer states that the variants that are pruned and even the timelines that they set those bombs off in aren't completely erased. They're more like transferred to a place where they can't continue to grow. So we go back to the Void, and Loki is having a conversation with his 4 other variants. Or should I say 3, because Gator Loki don't talk. But our Loki asks them about the end of their lives, and classic OG Loki states that he doesn't use knives as he believes they're a silly mockery of their magical potential. But he does reveal that he fooled Thanos with a projection, faked his death, and drifted into space. He then decided to remove himself from everyone's lives completely because he noticed that everywhere he went, he just caused destruction everywhere. Common theme of this series, right? But he got lonely, and he said as soon as he tried to escape off that planet, boom, the TVA shows up. So it seems like whenever a Loki tries to turn his or her life around for the better, there's the TVA. They all chant that they're God of outcasts, and this is where we see a difference in our Loki. The others nod, but our Loki is not really convinced. He like, man, I'm trying to get off this planet, y'all. So in true Loki fashion, he gives them some mighty elaborate speech, and he pitches that they kill Alioth together. They look at him for a second, and they all burst out and start dying laughing. Now we all know Ravonna was still acting a little shady and a little iffy after we figured out that she was still not truly on Sylvie and Loki's side. Sylvie prunes herself so she can end up where Loki is. She gonna save her man, y'all. We all could use a woman like this. She ends up in the Void, same place where we learned in this episode everybody goes that gets pruned, and she's immediately chased by Alioth. But guess who comes to her rescue, y'all? It's our boy Mobius. So as Mobius is trying to save Sylvie, she's ducking and dodging Alioth, and in the middle of all that chaos, she touches him and manages to create a link. And this gives her the idea that old Smokey Alioth over there may be able to be enchanted. So after being laughed at for his plan, our Loki decides that he's gonna leave. Now, as he's leaving, he's confronted by all these different variants of himself. And this is where we finally see President Loki. And it's a pretty funny scene. Boastful Loki turns on our group, but then President Loki's group turns on him. All these Lokis are power hungry and they have not grown. at all. I think that's the gist that they were trying to get across in this moment. Gator Loki bites off President Loki's hand and chaos ensues. And in the midst of all that chaos, OG Loki creates a projection of all of them fighting back, and they're able to escape. Now, OG Loki and Kid Loki tell our Loki that they'll help get him to Alioth, but that's as far as they're going. And this is when they run into Sylvie and Mobius. Yes, the gang is back together, and they're together for the first time, like they never left, if that makes sense. But Sylvie immediately laughs and scoffs off our Loki's plan, just like the other Lokis did. And she's like, that's the plan that you guys were going to go with. Our Loki is like, do you have a better plan? And she's like, yeah, I'm going to enchant him. It's a crazy plan, but it just may be crazy enough to work. And it's funny, Mobius spits out the line like, yeah, she's pretty confident. So as they're about to go along with their plan, Mobius has the temp pad, and he's going back to the TVA. They ask what he's going to do. He said he's going to burn it to the ground. He reaches his hand out for Loki, and Loki decides to give our boy Mobius a good old-fashioned hug. And Mobius looks at Sylvie and says, you're my favorite. But they get close enough to Alioth, and sure enough, they catch his attention. But they're going to need a distraction. This is when our Loki decides to be that distraction. He's running away. He's using the sword that Kid Loki gave him. He's trying to create a diversion and give Sylvie enough time to create that link again and enchant Alioth. But Alioth felt them enchantment powers and was not going, because he quickly turned his attention from our Loki back to Sylvie. And when it looked like all hope was lost, here come OG Loki with the projections that had Alioth biting that thin air, y'all. And what Sylvie is essentially trying to do is enchant Alioth so he can reveal the location of the person that is actually behind the TVA in general. Our Loki grabbed Sylvie's hand, or vice versa, because 2 is better than 1. And they were able to enchant Alioth, not before OG Loki met his end, but he's a Loki, so you never know. They never really die, right? But as y'all can see, through the clouds, through Alioth, we get this look at what I'm assuming can only be Kang the Conqueror, but we gotta wait to see if I'm right. I don't know if y'all can notice, but it definitely looked like they're in the quantum realm. Look at its surroundings. We also got a lot of Kang Easter eggs littered throughout this episode, but we'll get into that in another video. And just as I was on the edge of my seat, like, walk yourselves through that cloud, let's see who's been behind this whole TVA scandal, we get this shot of Loki looking up on that cloud, and it cuts to black in typical Marvel fashion. Left me on the edge of my seat, y'all. But what did y'all think about this episode? Did y'all like this episode? Comment below. Let me know who y'all think is the main villain, who y'all think is behind it. Comment below and let me know if y'all noticed all those Kang Easter eggs littered throughout the episode too, and what other Easter eggs y'all found. Let's have an open discussion, man. I love talking Loki. I love talking everything MCU. We just got a lot of reveals with this episode, y'all. We had like for instance, we had a Loki that looked exactly like our Loki and President Loki, right? So that just shows that we can have a different variant of Iron Man, right? That's still played by Robert Downey Jr. That's dope. Also, Kang can be used to bring in the Fantastic Four, because if y'all did not know, he is the ancestor of Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. And I'm pretty sure that everything that's going on in Loki, everything that went on in WandaVision, not so much Captain America and the Winter Soldier, but everything that went on in WandaVision and what's going on currently in Loki will play a significant part in the multiverse, will play a significant part in us getting 3 different Spider-Man and Spider-Man No Way Home. I believe this can be a way to bring back any dead character. Kevin Feige just came out and said he would love to continue to work with Scarlett Johansson if he could. This is the way that you can bring her back. Different variant, same actress planner. It's just the possibilities are endless. But like I said, comment below. Let me know y'all theories. Let me know if y'all excited about where the MCU is taking things. If y'all haven't, hit that subscribe button for your boy. Hit that like button to help get me all the way in the algorithm. Cash App somewhere in the video. Live life, y'all.